I take it Mr. Fremine realized?
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sejuane?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Cloran be like, this is just for work.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Please enlighten us as much as you'd like.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
Bro, so it's our fault.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Childe's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you!
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
And why did you have to go all through that? You could have just told them, bro.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates, that's all.
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good Mora to come down to the fortress for some field work.
Wait, you used Mora? You used Mora, but didn't you say that the coupons something, I forgot the name of the coupons, is important to the fortress of Meripede? Why did you use Mora? Hello?
As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
So the Forbidden Zone really exists? What's inside of it?
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Childe's whereabouts.
Bro, he already knew! So what's the point? Couldn't we just ask Risley to just ask? Couldn't we just let Risley actually do the investigation for us?
All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Of course! We've known all the secrets in Teyvat. We've even known that Wanderer is actually Scaramouche. It's just that this timeline has been altered, you know?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Yes. It's probably to do something with Nubalet or Risley.
Follow me.
Will Nubalet appear? Where did he go? Wait, where did you go? Oh my gosh, there's a secret compartment? How should I never known?
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. Stuff, Risley?
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
Okay. Take it easy.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Paimon can't feel the rumble. Come on. Once everyone is taken to their positions, whoa.
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
And that is...
What a huge door!
Oh, so that's where probably the Primordial Sea Water is enclosed? Maybe, that's my theory.
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Maybe.
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
I mean, we owe them an explanation, right? They helped us, and I kind of feel bad to not let them in.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
So that's the reason why Risley was so confident that Childe has not escaped through here? But then where the heck did Childe go then? If he didn't know about this place. Hello?
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
Wow, Paimon, you really need to react on everything. It's getting a little stale, to be honest. What's that in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
Are we sure? Can we actually trust Risley? I'm pretty sure he's gonna kill us or something. I have trust issues on him. This room is really empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also the device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive sludge. Slush? How do you say that? Slice? Slush? Gate.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
The water pressure?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the Primordial Sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
I think we should evacuate everyone here. This is not a safe place anymore. What if the whole thing just flooded in? Primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea?
Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate.
Sluice.
For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And if the Primordial Sea is leaking through, if this gate falls, all of Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But didn't Fremine and Held intake some of those sea? Shouldn't he be actually water by now?
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the Primordial Sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the Sinner's only home.
Oh, so is this the place where sinners get drowned or something?
And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Do you believe in prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So as the Duke of Merpede, just what do you plan to do about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
How do you willingly trust each other so quickly? After that aftermath between Linny and his siblings, hello?
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
I'm glad that these NPCs are like, are you sure about this? Like, they actually have some common sense. Like, oh, well, it's a traveler in Paimon, sure, why not? Hoo.
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
Alright then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Yo, girl, you've never seen us put up to work. We'll show you how harmless we are.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Ed who?
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not a local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Edwin's main areas of research were archeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
Was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Well, yeah, like, what the heck? What's wrong with you two?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
Bro, why are we talking about relationships? We should be talking about the crisis in Fontaine, bruh. Wait, did like Linny say that the knave Arlecchino wants to save their country? Save Fontaine by using the Hydro Archon's Gnosis? So why don't we actually just let Arlecchino do the job, you know?
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
That's what I was saying! Paimon, why do you keep on reacting things? This shouldn't be something that you should be surprised with, bro. We all know that the fortress has many secrets.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Ugh, everything you think is just super cool. Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
Wow! Now that is supposed to be something that you should be surprised with. This is the Fortress of Meripede.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Nothing.
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the
Oh
Lemurian
my gosh,
dynasty.
we're going to Fontaine history. Oh no, I'm not really prepared for any note-taking this time.
According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a
Golden
huge
bee?
ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria, and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the Primordial Sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
This is a plan for the ages. Can't you share your plan with everyone?
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
So can we actually change the Fontaine Archon quest if we do take this route?
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
I think we definitely need to tell Linny.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Because he's just there to help the Fontaine citizens anyway, so what's the point of keeping it from them? Linny keeps mentioning that he wants to save Fontaine, and his goals aligns with the House of the Hearth.
We're back!
Oh, I miss... Oh. Please, Hoyoverse, never ever separate them ever again. Because that was so traumatic.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
Always a cup of tea.
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Seashween.
I think it's Risley and Nervalet.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
I feel... Same, Promenade, same.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Aha. Feeling better now, Linny?
Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
You deserved it, baby boy.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the Primordial Sea Water? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost Primordial Sea is probably very close to the Fortress of Mirapede.
Well, you've got that spot on.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Linny.
Yay.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Childe for him.
Wow, you're so smart, Linny.
What's more, the Fortress of Mirapede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Iudex Nervulet. Wriothesley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Childe's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Wriothesley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
You're almost there.
You're super smart.
That's our Lenny.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
Of course, we need to share it to them.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Wriothesley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side.
Oh, thank you, Lenny. You're the best.
The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time.
Oh.
Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
I love this line so much. This line is just the best line that I've ever seen in Genshin Impact for me. It's just, oh. Nobody else considers us as family except for, you know, the House of the Hearth. And it's, I think that's just, you know, that's just wonderful for, if you think about it.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lenny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
I love these siblings so much. They know how to share their gratitude. They know how to, you know, like, tell the truth for when it mattered. And they genuinely love each other. And
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
don't mention it. We can work together again if necessary.
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aww, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
I'm glad that there's someone who's actively trying to protect us. What was that?
Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Oh, babies.
I feel like I should try to become someone more capable of helping.
You're incredibly helpful. Lenny thinks so too.
Yeah, you two are always telling me not to push myself, but aren't you just like that as well?
Oh. You guys are the cutest. Alrighty then, so where are we going now? Oh yeah. We're gonna eat!
It's time for welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijwin?
You're still sus, Sijwin. I do not trust you at all. I'm sorry.
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Oh.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat?
Huh? We can choose?
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Big. Let's get the biggest portion.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
And just watch her just gives the most disgusting food you've ever seen.
So delicious.
Free dinners are absolute the best.
Is this how it feels to be freeloaders? Wait a second, we did do plenty of work after all.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
I'm pretty sure she's put something in that food.
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
No, I don't trust you at all.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Just like you. Shut up, Paimon. You're short as well. What the heck?
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
I wouldn't be so happy to trust her. Just look at her.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
That was too risky. Come on, that was too reckless.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervulette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
Bro, I don't trust you. You're just saying that line. But that doesn't make sense at all. It's hard to imagine Nervulette outside of his office.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Clowen. Hello, Clowen.
Clorand!
Ah, it's you two.
How's dinner?
It's alright. Miss Sijwin really put in a lot of effort.
So we heard that Risley invited you to come down to help, and you saved Fremonade too! You sure work super fast!
Oh, it was child's play.
Ha, child.
Still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could take on side jobs. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sijwin and the Duke? Won't you get bored eating by yourself?
She's an introvert by heart.
Miss Sijwin was with you, and the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
You guys went with dinner together?
Yeah. First time in a long time.
It's a first date for between them.
First time in a long time? So you mean you've gone out to dinner with her in the past?
In the past, yes. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here.
You don't want your relationship to be discovered. Chlorian. It's all thanks to Novelette. This is technically a work trip for us.
Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around unnecessarily.
She disappeared. Dormitory.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Yeah, I'm also getting there. Bro. It's Zenla Zone.
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Oh yes, to me. Child dream.
Get out of my way!
We're having child dreams again?
What happened? Why is everyone running?
Uh-oh. Is it actually leaking?
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
What is happening?
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
Paimon, wake up! We need to go out and see what's going on. Why can't we just leave Paimon here?
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey! What are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey! Wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here.
I knew it! It was like, if the water is coming close, like, why don't you guys evacuate? Bro, I knew you should have evacuated sooner, bro.
Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us.
You said His Grace said to evacuate outward.
Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Wait, didn't you guys know where the evacuation route is?
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
I'm pretty sure we're gonna be fine. I mean, that's just seawater. Fontainians won't be are affected, but we aren't from Fontaine, so.
Hey! Be careful!
I'm glad we have friends like them.
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Oh, it's opened. How do we know how to activate it, bro?
They're here.
Just like I said.
You guys! You should go!
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Bro! You can't stop that water, bro! What are you gonna do? Punch the water? And what is Cloran gonna do? Electrocute the water? Bro, you're gonna get drowned. Run!
Three, two, one.
Oh, so that's why the gates are there. Oh! Jeez!
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
Get the name! I'm pretty sure
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Ooh, what is Cloran gonna do? Electrocute the water? Bro. Risley can freeze it, but Cloran, hello?
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Oh. Okay, you can explain everything else to me later.
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Oh, what if this is all part of Arlecchino's plan? Wait! What if this is all Arlecchino's plan? Is to let the Primordial Sea Water actually consume Fontaine? What if Arlecchino wants to drown Fontaine? And not actually save Fontaine, you know? Or maybe we uncover some secret? Is the reason why we need to drown Fontaine is because there's something else that's going on? I don't know, but that's just my hunch. Bro! This is bad. I don't know what will happen. Ah, wait, no! Like, I don't know what will happen with just Farina and Arlecchino. Wouldn't be that bad. Farina can't do anything. She can't even defend herself. Can she even defend herself? Oh, there she is. Oh, I thought it was the knave, but it was the Fatui members.
People over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
Oh. I mean, fighting gods is our resume, but fighting Fatui is also a part of our resume. But protecting someone? We don't know about that. Uh-oh, cutscene? 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 They're just here sipping tea again.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
Did you just want to fight me, Farina? How come you're suddenly nice to me all of a sudden?
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
Dang, you're so pretty. So this is the Knave, the head of the House of the Hearth, and the Linny siblings' father. She certainly does not seem easy to deal with. Greetings.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
It's quite tasty, and I think Paimon agrees too.
That's good to hear. So what Childe said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
I have a faith in his abilities.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Rina quite looks nervous. This must be some kind of bad blood between her and the Knave.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Childe was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front of you.
Oh, how do you know about that? I mean, technically you have Fatui everywhere, but how? Do you know that specifically? I want to know who told you that information.
Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Nuvillette.
I remember Scar's voice line about the Knave, and she's just putting up a mask. She's just pretending. She's the greatest, fakester of all time, and her real self is really crazy. That's what Scar said. I managed to find a few leads on his whereabouts.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Childe disappeared.
But here's the thing, I think the Knave is angry because of what happened to Childe, because he was declared guilty even though he wasn't guilty, and I think Arlecchino is mad at that. So that's why she has beef against Farina, who is in charge of making the Orchis Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Childe is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meripede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
We do not, Your Honor. There is no evidence that he's been injured or killed.
That is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, Your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
She's turning up the pressure. Not sure if I'll able to convince her, but I can at least try to distract her from Farina. That sounds good to me, yes?
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Uh-oh, she probably received a letter.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
She knows. She definitely knows what's going on in Fontaine.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
Uh-oh.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
Oh? Neverlet!
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh?
Let me
guess.
You're the Hydro Archon.
Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
And here we go again, Neuvillette cleaning up the mess of Fontaine. Yo! He's Kamehameha. Kamehameha.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
Yo! He's so cool!
This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
He's so pretty. Neuvillette! It was so cool!
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Bruh. You guys! Why are you betting on your lives? You were so close to dying, bruh.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
Oh, these two. These two are the most serious people, yet they're somewhat unserious as well. Like, what the heck?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
Bruh.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
Bro! And Neuvillette be joining in. You guys made a bet without me? Can you give me some of your tea as well? Bruh.
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
Why don't you visit Siegewin? She's been waiting for you for so long, Neuvillette.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you.
He's so pretty. Are you sure you're not a Hydro Dragon?
I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
I feel bad for Neuvillette, honestly. He just deals with everything. With actual crisis in Fontaine.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house.
Oh, are we finally getting serious?
Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable?
Oof! Oof! Yes! Diss her! Go, Arlecchino! She's just... she's been ignoring the prophecy or somewhat. Or she's just faking it or something. She's just using her entertainment and laughter and shenanigans to cover up her sadness or something.
The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland.
Oh, she's angry! She's really angry!
But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
Dang! Go tell her!
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
Ooh, Farina is having an objection.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me.
Dang! Oof! We got tea! We got drama! Everything is spilled! This is what I live for! Come on!
Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high!
Then what's your plan then? How? You're so confident that Fontaine will be saved. How? How? Tell us, Farina. Farina's not acting like her usual self. She's actually seriously refuting the knave's accusations. She means what she says. She's not putting on a front.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
Farina, please! Girl! At least give your people some explanation. You can't just keep them in silence forever. We're keeping an analogy of Farina like a balloon. So was that all a lie? Or can she really not tell us? She was full of conviction and confidence just now. Now she's deflated like a pop balloon. I think it has to do something with her other personality or her other self. It's just that she can't show it in front of people of Fontaine. It's just my guess.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
We can see her pyro vision at the back.
An emergency response plan?
Bro, Farina! You haven't thought of that? Like, what if everything goes wrong? What shall you do? Can the Hydro Archon be drowned as well?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
Farina! What the heck?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Bro, then what is not confidential? Just tell us at least something.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal?
She says that so smoothly. Oh my god.
And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina.
What if the other Farina is the actual Hydro Archon that has the gnosis and everything? I'm telling, not the old Hydro Archon. I mean the current Farina that's been hiding.
I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium.
Oh.
But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side.
Oof! That's another hit.
Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
These aren't topics I can speak about. I don't even know what Neuvillette's task was. I had to guess. Yeah, probably went down to deal with the surging Primordial Sea, but can you really deal with it all by himself? And is Farina being truthful or not?
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Wow, the courtesy.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
The knave proceeds to change the topic and bring a numberless... I need to read it, Hoyoverse!
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
So after that quarrel, we just eat cake and sip tea, you know?
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Dang.
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Childe before I must be on my way.
No, we should stay with Farina. You can go off your own, the knave.
Paimon's coming too!
Are we sure it's okay to leave Farina here by herself? We had one job, and that is to protect Farina.
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
You're suspicious, Farina. You're the most sus character in this whole entire Fontaine. Wait, so this thing was open for a very long time? How come I never know that? This is a bad idea. I think once we get out, something will go wrong very badly. Or will Childe appear? Who knows?
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Childe was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
Oh, so she's finally starting to speak the truth?
That's what Paimon thought.
What do you want to say?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
I didn't think that's what you wanted to talk about.
Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children.
So what if something happened to your children? What you're going to do about it?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina?
She's weird.
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna tell me don't trust Farina.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Childe was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Okay, I finally get to know the answer to my question, like who told Arlecchino the information about Childe getting declared as guilty.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
What if Farina is also hiding a facade, just like Arlecchino? You know? And just like Neuvillette, everyone is hiding a facade. They're hiding their true selves. And oh my god, Arlecchino! Oh my gosh, baby girl, look at you, you're so pretty.
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
Oh! Wait, does Farina know that it was Arlecchino who attacked her?
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydrognosis is not currently held by the Archon.
Oh! So she did try to take her Gnosis by force. I'm guessing that Neuvillette has her Gnosis, but I'm not sure. My second guess would be the Gnosis is in the Oratrice that operates.
In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning.
Oh, this is interesting information.
I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone.
Oh, so that's why she was scared of the knave.
Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake.
This is why Farina was so scared of Arlecchino.
There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
Wait, is she suspecting that Neuvillette is actually the Hydro Archon?
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Oh, so that's why she thinks it's inside the fortress of Meropide?
Yes, Father.
Oh my god!
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meropide. Master Childe has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meropide will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
I really like this. I really like this new perspectives, you know? We finally get to see other perspectives
You
other
should
than
know
us.
the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
So here's the thing. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Genshin players or other people that might think that, oh my gosh, Arlecchino is so nice. Is very, very friendly after all. She's just trying to save Fontaine. But that's the thing. That's probably just all an illusion or something. She probably has her own hidden agenda apart from Fontaine and the House of the Heart. I'm pretty sure it has to do something with her past in Fontaine or something. That would be all quite interesting to know, you know?
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else.
Ooh.
Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you.
Okay, what if everything I said was wrong? And Arlecchino is the only Fatui who's good? But that doesn't sit right with me at all. Because Childe and Wander says something completely different about her.
You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday.
Wait, I saw Arlecchino's vision a bit more clearly, and her pyrovision is from Sneshnaya? Was it? I'm pretty sure that's from Sneshnaya. It's same with Childe. So she got her vision from Sneshnaya. Neuvillette.
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina.
May we ask what happened down there?
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate.
As for what happened on our side, so we aren't just gonna question what Neuvillette did?
So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
Can I ask you some questions?
Permission granted.
Do you have enough power to force back the Primordial Sea? Does this mean you have some deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though.
What if all this time it was actually Neuvillette, the Hydro Archon? Oh my god, that would be the greatest plot twist ever.
You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
That's weird, Paimon. To me, I thought you would probably pressure Neuvillette into speaking the truth. But how come you let this slide so easily? Come on, we should pressure them to talk more about the mysterious identities of these Fontainians, man.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
What did you sense in the Fortress of Meripede? Did you manage to protect those that needed to be defended?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
Uh-oh. Is Neuvillette sad? The clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds. The rain became heavier, like rain soon growing to a downpour. Just moments before, Neuvillette has mentioned his sense of grief. What if finally the traveler knows that he's the Hydra Archon? Thinking back to the legend and what Freminate said, it is said that the Dragon of Water once resided in Fontaine. Every time it weeps, the sky will cloud up and pour out the rain. Wait, Neuvillette, you can't be.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
You're the Hydro Archon! I mean dragon, aren't you?
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He's the Dragon Sovereign of Water.
The Dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised.
I mean, who would have guessed that he's the Hydro Dragon? So Farina knows that he's weeping.
Farina?
Neuvillette, are you listening?
Ah, my apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the Dragon Sovereign of Water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
So he did not deny it. So he is the dragon. Holy crud.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
I'm so happy that Neuvillette is actually speaking up. He's trying to he's trusting us.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, and you were able to force back the Primordial Sea from the fortress...
How come we are not so shocked about this? Come on, we should be more dramatic about this. Like, what? Neuvillette, you're a dragon?
Then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood.
Ooh, that is new information. So you haven't reached your dragonhood, sir?
They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental Archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Okay, so we've known that information. Like, up to this part. Like, what has this information have to do with me finding my brother? Like, is it this our mission? Our main goal is to find our brother? Yet we are here uncovering the secrets of Fontaine? And it's all drama and dramatic.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried.
Sure, see you later, Nervalet.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
I mean, it's kinda... You know... I think so far this quest is so good, but here's the thing. It's kinda... You know, predictable, I guess. In my opinion. It's like... I wish there's more, like, you know... element of surprise. Like Sumeru, you know? Sumeru was so good, but I'm like... I mean, Fontaine is surprising, yes, but... I mean, we kinda knew, right? We just have to confirm our suspicions. You know? And like... Unlike in Sumeru, we didn't know anything about Sumeru's, like... Archon quests. Yet here in Fontaine, it's kind of predictable as you play through the Archon quest, you know? And it's like... It's good, but... Is it better? You know? That's just my opinion, so... I'm going to... stop this and for a while, and I'll proceed to the next video to probably finish the Archon quest. And this is already an hour and 30 minutes long, so... See you on the next video. Goodbye.